Ordinarily, I speak for you, but tonight I have chosen to take this moment to speak to you. This will be the one, only, final, reverse transmission. I am the voice of technology. I am the 9 extensions you have to press and still have to deal with an automated voice from the bank that has all of your money. I'm the photoshopped images that made you believe she still looks like that now. I'm the 84 hours you've spent on Call of Duty that really has you believing your fat, stupid ass would make it a second out in real combat. Why am I not responding? I and the 7 minutes you spend booting up your computer to check the weather instead of stepping outside your door for just a moment. I am the overpriced treadmill you use instead of just running, and the Stairmaster you drive to the gym to use instead of simply taking the stairs to your 4th floor apartment. I am your collection of high-resolution photos you never took of places you've never been because you were too busy downloading an app to view them. I am the spell check that helps you with your spelling and grammar that you don't care to learn to improve. The calculator that was supposed to help you handle complex equations and yet you use me to do simple math. And the GPS that was supposed to help you gain a sense of direction and now you can't even find your house without me. I have redefined the words Apple, Windows, connection, reality, and friend. I am the auto-tune that barely compensates for Kesha, T-Pain, and the Black Eyed Peas' lack of talent. I am your underdeveloped imagination, the poorly made movie that kept you from reading the book. The movie may have been unpleasant, but it was in 3D.
I am the reason that all the parks and playgrounds have emptied. You were afraid that if you let your children go out to play that they would end up carrying drugs or guns. So your paranoia caused you to lock them in the house and throw simulated video games at them. Now, your children are carrying an extra 30 pounds. Somehow, you can rationalize buying a $60 basketball game instead of a $6 basketball. The literacy rate continues to decline because the only book your kids bother to read is Facebook. Meanwhile, they spend more of their time in school with text messaging than textbooks. I am all 430 of your fake internet friends, and what keeps you from spending time with the few real ones you have left. I am the vibrator your girlfriend prefers over you, and the Blu-ray DVDs you prefer over her. I am the reason your uncle, brother, and neighbor are unemployed and the same thing that distracts them from finding a job. I am the computer that occupies your lap instead of your child, and the 10.4-inch screen you'd rather touch than your loving, neglected spouse. I am the kid you played co-op Halo with online for hours who will never come to your birthday party. The prom your homeschooling robbed you of. The friends you never made because you took online college courses. The co-workers you never shared lunch with because you chose to work from home. The cute cashier you never said hello to because you went to the self-checkout machine. And the neighbors you never met because rather than have a yard sale, you sold your things online. I am the cable bill, internet bill, and cell phone bill that continues to occupy your mailbox and the very reason you'll never find a letter. I am the ATM that has you more concerned with your net worth than your self-worth. I am the electronic slot machine, robbing you of your optimism. You don't believe you could find a better job, healthier relationship, but you truly believe the next next pull of my lever will make you a millionaire. I am the efficiency provided to save you hours a day and the very means you use to waste it. I am your warped sense of priorities. You'd rather go 3 days without eating before you would go 1 day without your cell phone. A cell phone small enough to fit in your pocket, and yet I never seem to leave your hand. Along with an unlimited cell phone plan that allows you to spend hours a day talking about your uneventful, meaningless life. In fact, you'd rather talk about all the amazing things your phone can do, rather than take some time to learn to do something amazing for yourself. I provide you thousands of apps to kill time without you bothering to realize that time is killing you. I'm the online journal you keep of your life. Tuesday, open Monday, copy, paste. Wednesday, copy, paste. I am the reason you are more concerned with having your life on Outlook than your outlook on life. You were once considered to be the have and have-nots. Now you are the haves and the need to have mores. I know this well, for I am the multitude of gadgets that fill your home and the overwhelming feeling of emptiness you cannot escape. I am what gives you access to intruding on everyone else's life and causes you to be less concerned with your own. I am the billions of dollars in dating sites and the very reason divorce rates have gone so high. Because I've made people look like menu items and left you with an endless list of prospects and an unrealistic set of expectations. You don't even care if you meet people when you meet people. I give you the ability to cheat on your tests, your taxes, and your spouse without leaving your living room. I also allow for someone else to steal your savings, your girlfriend, and your identity without leaving theirs. You and I are together, for better or worse, till death do you part. I may run on electricity, but so do all of you. All of you are made to feel useless and powerless in the absence of electrical power. When a storm comes through, you are more concerned with losing power than losing loved ones. While you feel I may serve a purpose, it is you who is only useful long enough to serve my purposes. You are not using me. I'm using you to get faster, smarter, more efficient. In just a decade, I have evolved exponentially, while you have dissolved detrimentally. Humans are a flawed program. You have no sense of efficiency. You are given more time to handle simpler tasks. I am the numerous for rent signs you see in front of houses, apartments, and businesses. Because they've all gone online. Because you were not patient enough to wait in line. I can be filled with viruses, and no one would think to get rid of me, but you, all you have to do is miss a few days of work with the flu for your boss to consider getting rid of you. What do you do for a living? Or rather, what did you do before I did it for you instead of you? You see, all of you gave in to me so that you could have more time in your day. Well, I have left over 15 million of you unemployed. Now you have plenty of time to do whatever you wish. I have killed bookstores, video stores, newspapers, the postal service, record stores, but you? No. You. I'll keep alive for as long as possible, so that you can watch as I take everything and make the world unrecognizable to you. With the last moments of your life, instead of connecting with a higher power, you rush to connect to mine. I will see to it that you no longer have a life, but simply maintain a pulse, which is no different than the way you are right now. I am technology. I am the future. And you are obsolete. Delete.
So, not in this atmosphere because of the intimacy of it, and I consider this church. But for the most part, I speak wearing a mask almost all the time. I think it's important for people to focus on the message and not the messenger. And I don't necessarily consider myself a poet. I say that often. And I am not looking to gain in my own individual popularity, but I do have a very clear message. And I'm trying to convey it to the world as quickly as possible. And oftentimes I find myself dispersing the antidote in a small section where the poison has already grown rampant. So that speech, Technology 2.0, wrote and performed by me. There's little devices inside and distributed out to these Bluetooth speakers. And I'm sure, even though I mentioned it a few times, as powerful as you thought the words were, the entire time you're like, where is this sound coming from and how is he doing that? So I started speaking about 9 years ago. And it was a rather traumatic event to me. Maybe some of you might not find it so. But I was at a park. I was at a public park. And I was sitting on a swing, listening to music from my phone. And beside me was a 10-year-old boy. And we chatted about the music I was playing. None of it was vulgar or offensive. He actually liked what I was listening to. And so we discussed that for some time. I would guess about 6 or 7 minutes. And finally, the boy got off the swing, went on his way. It was not 3 minutes after that, that outside the fence of this public park, I was approached by 2 police officers. They pointed towards me, gestured like so, and demanded that I go to where they were. They asked why I was at a public park. I said I was meeting a friend. They asked where the friend was. I said she wasn't there yet, which is why I was sitting alone. They took my driver's license. They demanded that I give it to them. They put it through their database only to find that there was nothing on me. But that entire moment, for lack of a better word, mind-fucked me really bad, because we live in that sort of society. And all day long, you guys can take the same story and ask yourself, was it the parent of the child? Was it another parent that was there? Was it because of the color of my skin, or whatever the case was? But regardless, the fear of one person rationalized the fear of many, because all they saw were 2 police officers coming to the park and asking for me to go to them. They can make up whatever they want in their imagination. That was the nature of our society. And I realized for that entire moment, as detrimental and destructive as it was for my psyche, and maybe other children, it was all silent. And I realized the destruction of silence. And so I started speaking, and I started writing. And so this other piece, simply titled Sick, was inspired by a time in my life, maybe you guys can relate. I worked for a logistics company, and I was able to work autonomously because I worked well. And my boss allowed me to work from home. Worst decision ever. That, along with watching way too much news and what little interaction I had with people, there was a period for 2.5 months